Noon 30 o'clock.
Noon 30 o'clock. It is a Monday, Mindset Monday, Continued Momentum Monday. Monday.
Magnificent Monday. All right.
Hakuna Matata Monday. Okay.
Hakuna Monday. You get the point.
All right, you guys. So let's hop in. Let's just jump right into today's conversation. Okay. In the spirit
Today's going to be speedy.
Yeah, in the spirit of the Raw Transformation program that we have coming up. And by the way, if you are listening to this on YouTube or podcast, and your first time hearing this about this Raw Transformation program, it is an 8-week total body and mind transformation program that we have coming up starting next week on Memorial Day, May 31st, 2021. Registration closes on Saturday, May 29th. So if you haven't already checked out the Raw Transformation program, do yourself a favor and go to improveysolutions.com/raw. That is improveysolutions.com/raw.
IMPROVEUSOLUTIONS.com/RAW.
Yeah, buddy. All right.
I think they get it.
Yeah. You guys, so today we're going to be talking about there's a lot of common weight loss misconceptions, but I mean, honestly, I can have an entire weekend preaching about weight loss misconception. I think that maybe one weekend we should do it. Like,
it would
just
be
do
a
weight
legit
loss misconception marathon.
Yes.
See how far can I go before even stopping about this preaching. But today we're going to be talking about 3 specific ones, very common ones, very popular ones that we see in this day and age that honestly just drive us bonkers. But in order for things to change, first, you have got to change. And the purpose of these conversations is really just to bring awareness into where society at, what's the real truth, so that you can hopefully start filling in the gaps. Step 1 with regards to creating any sort of change is awareness. And this is the power of these conversations. So by the way, if you're new to this show, welcome. If you're watching this on YouTube or listening on podcast, thank you so much for subscribing. Do us a favor and just leave a review as well so that we can see how are we doing. Are we being funny enough? Are we meeting your standards? Maybe we're not.
If you've been around for a while, thanks for sticking in there with us.
Yeah.
And the purpose of this is really just to bring, like Sarit said, to bring awareness. If these are things that, you have fallen into, like we had, then great. If we chat about them, now you're aware, and then we can begin to make a change. So
yeah,
huge misconceptions. Of course, there's so many in the weight loss industry simply because it's easier to sell a quick fix than it is, the truth. And so, when we buy into these, lose X number of pounds in this little of time, it's really, what's the word when we're attracted to it? It's really
gratifying.
No. Like when you want to run to it, you're like, oh yes, that thing. It's really deceiving? It's just attractive. It's just really attractive, and so we try it, and then because it's a misconception, then we fall into the trap. We don't succeed, or we fall short, and then we feel like something's wrong with us. We have failed, and failure is or it's a misstep. Oops, I misstepped and I fell. And so now we got to learn, what did I do that I need to do better the next time? So let's get into the 3.
Yeah. So concept number 1. The no carbs concept. You guys, the most popular diet in this day and age right now in 2021 is the keto diet.
It's like the most marketed, I would say.
and the most marketed. You guys, the keto diet has actually started 100 years ago to help treat epilepsy and schizophrenia. And yes, there's a lot of, medical research and studies that, really show the power that it has with regards to that form of treatment.
Scientific data.
Yeah. But, really what's happening now is that, for one, people are not applying keto correctly whatsoever. It's basically all just dirty keto, and you are what you eat. Don't be dirty, dude.
It's like the telephone game. Tell somebody a story, have them tell that story to somebody else, and then have that person tell a story to somebody else, and then to somebody else, and then tell the 10th person to retell you that story. It's going to be jacked up. That's what's happened.
You guys, here, if you want to really start understanding life, just like look at universal concepts or universal principles. Mother Nature will never fool you. Mother Nature will never lie to you. Mother Nature has a purpose for everything. And carbs are like a predominant source that are just like all around us. And if it didn't have a purpose, it wouldn't be all around us. But for some reason, carbs now have this like just stigma around it, because the reality is that over the last 100 years, ever since we started industrialization, most of the carbs that are being consumed are highly processed carbs. So because people don't have a macro scale understanding or a broad view understanding of what's really going on, people think that all carbs are created equal. Therefore, people think that, a sweet potato has the same impact on our body that, a Ben and Jerry's ice cream does, or that a grape has the same impact as grape juice does. And that carbs are wrong, carbs are dirty, carbs are taboo, carbs are bad, when the reality is that carbs are here to serve you. But in this day and age, unless you have some kind of understanding with regards to carbs, chances are is that most of the carbs that you're eating are actually nothing but highly processed carbs. And now the faster, easier in the moment thing to do is to just avoid something if it's your problem. Just like, let's say if somebody hurt you before, it is a lot easier to sweep the conversation that may be uncomfortable under the rug versus expressing to them like, look, when we had this conversation, this is what happened.
Short term easier.
Exactly. Short term is easier. So what do most people decide to do if they don't understand carb? I'll just avoid it. But here's the thing, like, carbs are all around us. So now if you avoid something that's all around you, okay, the universe will say, try avoiding me. I'll still come back. I've been here longer than you have. I will be here longer than you have. That's what photosynthesis is all about. It's converting the energy from the sun into a carbohydrate source in plants. There will be no life without carbs, you guys. So trying to avoid carbs is just like straight up like nonsense. But going back to this concept of carbs, that not all carbs are created equal. And if there is anything that you need to watch out for, are the highly processed forms of carbs. Now, we've just talked about it from the physiological standpoint. Now, we have to understand that as a human being, we're not just a physical manifestation. There's a lot more that goes into it, right? So, we have to also take into consideration all of the behavioral elements that, go into it. Because, it is a lot easier to say, okay, if ice cream is processed carbs, then I shouldn't have it. Well, why the heck are you still struggling to avoid, not having any ice cream? Well, probably because your brain is already addicted to sugar. So going cold turkey with regards to that seems great on paper. But with the way that we teach is it's all about progressions. And now what people have a hard time understanding is that I want it now, I want it yesterday. When you want something, you want it 10 minutes ago, right? Because we live in this Amazon Prime era where Amazon's soon gonna just start like shipping something, like just dropping off a package to your house like from the air within 10 minutes. We're gonna get there in less than 10 years, you guys. So, we are extremely impatient, but with regards to your body, it's like you've got to be patient with it, because let's say even if you had, a few extra drinks on a Saturday night and you woke up on Sunday, you're feeling a little bit hungover. I know that you guys have felt that before. It will probably take you until Tuesday to feel fully recovered. Now, what makes you think that if you've got quite a bit of weight to lose, or maybe even just a little weight to lose, that, by doing something just like in this moment, your body's going to like completely like fall into place right now. Your body will surely fall into place, but you have to be patient with it. So just, follow the steps. Just like if you want to walk from here to the door, I'm not just going to take one leap. I mean, I could try, but the better way would probably be me taking a couple of steps. That's how anything in life applies. You got to stay in the step you're in, and you got to follow the steps. So, yeah, you can talk about carbs right now.
Oh, okay, great. I forgot I was here for a second. I do that all the time, though. All I want to say is that, for the person or the people watching this, or that will watch this or listen to this, that are like, but I've been doing keto and I love it, and, I've had really good success and whatnot. First of all, we have to really define our intention in doing anything that we do. What is the intention? What is the purpose? The reason the ketogenic diet was created, like Sarit said, is for actual ailments, not for weight loss. But because people lost weight, then we say, oh, now it's a weight. If we market this for weight loss, imagine how much money people will pay us. There's like 99.9% of people will not be able to sustain doing the actual keto, how it's keto. Somebody literally told me one time, oh, I ate ice cream and I was still in ketosis. Bull fucking shit.
Clearly you don't understand it.
It's not.
Unless it was frozen avocados.
It's the telephone game. Somebody told you wrong. That's not how you do it. It's extremely strict. It's extremely rigid. And so, 99.9% of the people are not going to be able to sustain it on a regular basis, nor would the intention we go into it usually be the intention it was designed for. So just like keep note of that. That doesn't mean that you can't do it, or you don't try it, make whatever decisions you want. We're just trying to tell you what misconceptions in weight loss is, that keto is a great way to get you weight loss. Now, it is true if your intention is to lose weight and then have a really good chance of gaining it back. If that's your goal, do keto. That's all I have to say.
Liz Martini. Like Viagra, it started as a heart medication and now it's good for
stiffies.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
So ultimately, do whatever you would like to do. We've helped thousands of people with their weight loss journey, and it never fails. Oh, keto worked, but then I gained the weight back. I'm like, then it didn't work. Wait, hold on. Was your goal to lose weight and gain it back? No, then it didn't work. I'm just saying, think about that for a second. No, Erin, it worked. It worked. I lost weight. All right, Jan. Why are we having this conversation then? Just saying.
Misconception number 1 is no carbs.
No carbs.
Okay.
Carbs.
So if you've been thinking that way, how about you switch your no carbs thinking to better than carbs thinking? Okay.
Who wants to eat carbs?
Yeah, I know y'all love pizza and shit. You just need to know how to eat it. All right. The second one is, drum roll, please.
By the way, if your name is Jan, I wasn't trying to like target you. I don't know anybody in our community at this moment named Jan, so I felt like that was a safe one.
Yeah.
All right, number two.
Number two is working out all day. And
for extended periods of time. Like
a lot.
Extensive fitness.
Yeah, like I'm going to be in the gym all afternoon, or I'm going to go on a 10-mile run.
I'm going to do my cardio in the morning, then I'm going to make sure I do squats every hour while I'm at work, and then
I'm going to go for an evening session.
Yeah, like just excessive.
And I think that this concept, okay, like I try to study people and, you know, and just like have a bigger understanding to what's going on. But, you know, like if you think about it, you know, a lot of times you're probably inspired to do something, to make some kind of decision because you've seen somebody that you look up to or strive to be like do that. And now, you know, like if we're thinking about physiology, who would be the most inspiring people? Probably athletes. Now, here's the thing about athletes.
Whoever looks the way you have in your mind that, you know, when you get fit and healthy, you look something similar to that.
Yeah.
Like that's the most inspiring people to each individual, I would say. Well,
if you've been in our community for a while, I'm going to share this just to make you guys laugh. But I know y'all have been inspired by Tom Brady. But in all seriousness, you know, I believe that it's because we are, when it comes to physiques, we're more often than not inspired by legit athletes. Now, athletes do not have the same goals as you. And athletes don't live the same way because there's this thing in training that's called the concept of specificity. Athletes train for something that's specific. Okay? So, like, for them, they're sacrificing literally their entire life for a certain event. And they have to be the best at it. And therefore, they're working on all of the skills that they have to in order to accomplish it. You know, there's just so much that goes into it. Yes, they look great because they treat their body like it's a freaking machine. Guess what? For all of you guys, your body is a freaking machine. But you have to be very understanding of your goals. Unless you're some kind of athlete where you get a paycheck to perform at a certain sport, chances are, or unless you have some kind of event coming up that maybe it's been a personal goal of yours to show up for it, chances are that you don't need to train with the concept of specificity in mind. Okay? So, you know, like a lot of people, you know, like, I want to lose weight because this runner looks so-and-so. Yeah, this runner looks so-and-so because this runner is a freaking marathon runner. Like, they're training to probably, like, you know, beat their last time or whatever. Yes, they're going to have to, like, do, like, some ridiculous stuff. Aside from the fact that they've got sponsors, they've got, like, so many things on the line. Dude, like, you're just trying to run a 5K.
So it's, you know, we often just, like, we think that, you know, I know that a lot of people that have asked for our help have been in this position where it's like, you know, well, this person does this and this person does this. And I'm like, but do you have a full understanding of what that person's life looks like? Do you know that, like, for a professional athlete, it is their job. It is their job to pay extremely close attention to the grams of, like, what they're eating, to work out multiple times a day, but you also don't understand that they're doing everything to recover throughout the rest of the day. They're working on their mindset. They're learning things. They're reviewing.
They're sleeping a specific amount of hours.
Hold on. They're reviewing their life on a regular basis to see how they can excel just incrementally in their sport. or with their body, depending on what their sport is. So, you know, like if you're not a professional athlete, if you're not getting paid to do fitness, then ask yourself, like, is it realistic for me to do the same amount of fitness or eat the same exact diet plan that this person is eating?
Yeah.
You know, is your life the same way? Are your goals the same? Have you had the same duration of time in this journey as they have? Like, there's so many different variables to consider.
Yeah, and like let's use Emily Abbott, for example, whom we interviewed, last year.
That was like one of the greatest interviews. Simply, for one, it was in person. For two, we talked about vaginas and things, and it was...
Yeah, but when she was training for the CrossFit Games, like she was saying on the show, she's like, I was sleeping for 11 hours a day because you guys, you're training so hard and all you're doing in the remaining time is focusing on how can I recover so I can show up for my workout. And your recovery has everything to do with your nutrition, your hydration, and your sleep. So like imagine like you've got only 13 hours to do all of what you've got to do. Right? So it's like, you can't just look at one small piece of the pie. Like, yes, of course, when you're an athlete, you're gonna have like your sponsors take photos of you like lifting some weights, doing some pull-ups, running, doing whatever sort of thing, because that's what you're known for. That is your asset, right? But, it's like just by looking at a picture doesn't mean that you have their entire story. And I think that, that's a huge misconception, aside from the fact that also most people just don't know how to train effectively. There's a difference between I'm going to do a workout versus I'm going to train effectively. You guys, like if you've done just our Rise Above workouts, the burn zone, forget the underground training club. This is what we talk about, an effective workout. Within 30 minutes, you are hitting literally every single muscle in your body. You're getting your heart rate up. You're doing all the things. Instead of just focusing, oh, I'm going to burn 500 calories. Dude, you do the burn zone. You probably burn 400 calories during it. And then you burn another 800 throughout the day.
That you don't even pay attention to because you're not aware of this thing that's called post-exercise excess post-exercise oxygen consumption. Mm-hmm. It's a really big word. Normally we don't use because
I can't believe we remember that.
I mean, when you understand what it means, it's not hard to remember, but it's your body is taking in extra oxygen after your workout because you're trying to still recover. So you don't recognize it, but your body is more metabolic. You're burning more calories when you've done either super high intensity or you've done weight training with specific variables, different weight sets, reps, rest, whatnot. And so, your body continues to use energy to recover hours after you've done your workout. So, there's so many things to consider than just, did I burn 500 calories on the elliptical?
Yeah. So that is misconception number 2. Now, on to misconception number 3. And that's a really, really powerful one. Once you understand that one, that's when you can get yourself to what I would consider the bliss point. Okay? Is that a lot of people think that if you're not losing X amount of pounds per week, that's it. That's it. I've plateaued. I've stopped. Maybe this is not for me. Whatever. When the reality is, when you get to that new area of water, that's when you're actually getting yourself to an opportunity that is most of the time unseen at the beginning. And should you be patient and consistent, that's when you take it to the next level. But so many people are like, yeah, I've dropped 20 pounds like in 10 weeks and now things are starting to slow down. So maybe this is where my body is just meant to be. Is it?
I want to talk about that.
You guys, we're all born with the same anatomy and an amazing anatomy. We're all capable of that. It's what are we like putting in our minds that will affect.
I want to talk about this for a second because I think back to when I was overweight, when I was struggling with my own, you know, and it's not all about weight. A lot of it is about, you know, a feeling that you have about yourself. And, you know, we believe that if we lose weight, we're going to feel a different way, which is true if you do it the right way. If you just lose weight, but you're not focused on the other things that we very much focus on in all of our programs, you can still find yourself very empty. And when you're in this position, there's three things you can choose to either say or ask yourself. And a lot of times we hear people say, you know, I'm always going to be fat. Okay. And I was literally just thinking back to my own story. I'm like, did I ever tell myself that? And the answer is no, I didn't. What I did say is, am I always going to be like this? Now, if I had known better, what I would have said is, what am I responsible for? How can I change this? What can I do to change this? What do I really need to do to change this? And what do I want to actually change? Because most of the time, it's not simply the weight of your body. It's not simply the mass that you hold. If you are truly, genuinely happy with yourself internally, you would not give a damn about what you weigh. But the reality is that when we weigh a lot more than what we want to, it's because the behaviors that led us to that are what we're disappointed in, because we know we're not treating ourselves with the most respect that we could be. And that is what is difficult for us to accept. That is what pains us. That is what actually hurts. Not because I weigh 250 pounds. If I felt truly, genuinely amazing and happy with where I am, even at 250, great. The number really doesn't matter. But when you are a female who weighs or who is like 5'6" and you weigh 250, your health is poor. That's like scientifically. No, you do not eat healthy. That is not a thing. You're being deceived on what healthy is, probably. Now, don't get angry with me. Just open your mind to understand how you could do it differently. The things that we did to get there are the things that we are upset about internally, not the weight itself. So anything that we say where we're like, lose weight, yeah, great, cool. It's not about the weight you lose, but who you become in the process. I will say that until it gets old, which will be never. It is not about the weight you lose, but who you become in the process. Because in order to get to a lower weight, to feel really, truly healthy and like you're treating yourself with the most respect, there's different actions that need to be taken that you're proud of. You feel me? So there's a difference between saying, and if this is you, like, I'm just always going to be fat. That is a belief that you have. It's a lie that you believe that is holding you back. So I want you to wipe it clean right now. I want you to wipe it clean. You might have certain ailments. You might have something going on hormonally. I'm not discarding that. That might be the truth. But I can also say that the truth is, more likely than not, there's also things that you could be doing better than you're doing right now. Would you agree? Great. So there's a difference between, I'm always going to be fat. I would change that to, how can I be different? What can I do to be different? What am I responsible for? What can I take charge of? We have a lot more control than we think. We have a lot more power than we think, but it starts with our thoughts.
And we also live in a society that tells us the word never good enough. You're too short. You're too ugly. You're
Change
too
this,
fat.
change that.
You're too whatever. Look, dude, like if you're fat and happy like Lizzo is, I'm just inspired to get to Lizzo because I think that she's amazing. But like if you're rocking it, like from a health standpoint, I don't think that you're healthy. But if you're happy, then great. But chances are is that 99% of the time, if you are fat, you're not happy. Because there's some level of discomfort. You guys, when your organs are suffocating, when you're going up the stairs and you're, like huffing and puffing, when, you have a new puppy and, they start to play all obnoxious and you can't stop them, or, when they pee on the floor because they're learning how to pee and you have a hard time bending down, you guys, like, that is always in the back of your mind. You're like, oh shit, it's like, man, I don't want to do this because it's going to make me feel this way. I don't want to do this because it's going to make me feel this way. Forget about the fact that if you have kids and they want to play outside. Yeah. Mark Ripito said that fit people are more useful in general and harder to kill. And I agree with it 100%. And I think it's a fabulous statement. You guys, I think the reason why people are attracted to fitness is because of how the person feels inside about themselves. Yeah. When you overcome uncomfortable physical things every single day, it tells you about how you can overcome discomfort on a regular basis. Having that tough conversation, pushing yourself to the limit just a little bit more, doing all of the right things, even when nobody is watching. Yeah.
Feels good.
Yeah.
Just feels good. You're proud of yourself.
Yeah.
And that keeps you moving forward. And then you build this momentum. And then eventually nobody can stop you. Nothing can stop you. Don't blame, society sucks, this or that. Or
I think they're disagreeing.
Or my parents, this, yeah. But I'm just saying, it's a warning I'm throwing out there. Like, don't, like, we're only responsible for, you're responsible for your children, I suppose.
We're responsible for a lot.
But, what I'm saying is nobody else is responsible for you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And if this episode is making you feel things that's maybe uncomfortable, that's good. That's good. Because it creates change. It creates movement. So, if this is hitting home for you, or, maybe this is just something you've experienced and you're just like, totally been there. I'm excited you're not still there. If this hasn't been something that you haven't resonated with, don't let it be. Just keep moving forward.
Yeah.
Right? And if this is something where like it really resonated with you, or like you thought of somebody else, or it really hit you, like share it. Click the little share button on the Facebook video or YouTube, or press the little, is it the little,
or maybe just thing? Comment, or share,
tag somebody,
or comment about the video that you're watching, because sharing this, man, that takes a lot of courage, because we are just like straight up slapping society in the face.
Well, we want to create change. That's what we're here for, and it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable for every party because change is hard. But that's why we're also here for, to be the safety net, and create that change. So, that's gonna be it for today's episode. Yeah.
Yeah. And you guys, if this episode really hit home to you and you're like, okay, like, what do I do now? You guys, like, now is an amazing opportunity for you to join this program that we have only a few times per year. So now it is your time. If this is speaking home to you, just go to improveyourSolutions.com/raw and join our next raw transformation program that we have coming up, where we literally, like today we revealed some of the things, but during this program we teach you how to overcome all of these things. Now it's like, okay, like Band-Aids open, look at what you got. Then we're like, this is how we just clean it up and patch it up and
heal
all
it.
the things.
Heal it.
Yeah.
Heal it.
Do all the things. So
heal it from the inside out.
Yeah, and as always, if you've got any questions, just go ahead and email admin@erinsarit.com. We'd be happy to assist you. You guys, we're grateful for you joining us for another episode. We're grateful for you, trusting us with your goals and investing your time with us. Really, really means a lot. Hopefully, you're also investing in the programs that we put together for you, because those will really make the change in your life. Be the change that the world needs to see today and every day. We hope that you have a beautiful day. Tomorrow it is Q&A day, where we answer your questions. The form is in the announcements page of the Facebook group. So go ahead and ask us your questions and we'll be sure to answer them tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining us today, you guys, and have yourself a beautiful Monday.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.